Go ahead and start tapping just while I'm doing the introduction here. There is a part of us that craves sameness, that feels most comfortable with things that are familiar and people who are familiar, who look like us and sound like us and seem to at least think like us. And there's a part of us that feels very uncomfortable with things that are different, whether that's their color or their sexual orientation or their gender identification. And when things feel uncomfortable, we feel threatened, and that can lead us to have unfortunate thinking like, oh, that's wrong, and those people are bad, and I should say bad things about them, or it can lead to even worse behavior. And even if it doesn't go to that extreme, there could be subtle harm that we're doing to others. There's also harm that we're doing to ourselves because we can miss out on some really wonderful interactions with some really amazing people because of differences that we don't need to be afraid of. And so, if you are willing to be open to that, and obviously you are because you're tapping along with this video and maybe even looking at where you might be subtly doing this and not even really aware of it, but allowing yourself greater freedom to embrace more of humanity and enjoy more wonderful opportunities and interactions, then let's do some tapping. So, taking full responsibility for your own well being. And you may be thinking of a particular group of people or a particular person, just allowing yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. I choose to be more comfortable with differences. And I choose to love and accept myself. I choose to be more comfortable with differences. And I choose to love and honor myself. I choose to be more comfortable with differences. Letting go of this belief that I can only feel comfortable around people who are just like me. Letting go of any belief that if they're different from me, there's something bad about them. I choose to be much more comfortable with differences. And I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself and a lot more other people because I deserve that kind of freedom. I choose to be more comfortable with differences. I choose to be more comfortable around different people. I'm clearing this fear. And part of me might not identify it as fear. Part of me says, I'm just right. And there's something wrong with these other people. All this need to believe this. And it's not necessarily that I'm bad or stupid. I just have a lot of unfortunate programming from people who didn't know any better, from people who told me I should be afraid of differences, from people who told me I should be angry about differences, even if they pose no real threat to me. Because that's where those feelings come from. This belief that different people are a threat to me. But why should somebody else's color be a threat to me? Why should their sexual orientation be a threat to me? Or their gender identification? Why do I feel threatened by these things? Or whatever the difference is that's bothering me. And I'm clearing any shame about that. I was taught to believe this way. I've been doing the best I could with the programming that I had. I'm giving myself the freedom to see that a lot of my programming is based on misunderstandings. And as long as I buy into that misunderstanding, I'm not free. If I have to dislike people because of these differences, I'm not free. And damn it, I deserve to be free. I deserve to enjoy other people, even if they're not exactly like me. Now, if their difference is a real threat to me, if they're posing a real threat of harm, I can be concerned about that. And I can look for ways to protect myself. I'm not opening myself up to people who want to hurt me. I'm just giving myself the freedom to see if there really is a threat there. Is their different way of being really a threat to my way of being? Or can we happily coexist? I'm allowing myself to have real clarity about this. And if I can't reasonably prove that they're a threat to my way of being, I choose to be much more comfortable around them. I'm giving myself permission to see what's awesome about them. I'm done shortchanging myself, missing out on great opportunities, and missing out on the loving feelings that I could have inside that are so much more pleasant than prejudice. I deserve to feel more love. So I'm allowing myself to see to have the freedom to be much more comfortable with differences. Allowing myself more peace and love in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. And hey, lather, rinse, repeat as necessary. Some of these fears and doubts and prejudices have been, you know, put upon us for a long time and can be pretty deep. And so it may take some time to allow ourselves the freedom to say, oh, wow, yeah, I don't need to be upset about that. And I've really been shortchanging myself in terms of the people I allow myself to love. And just allow yourself to enjoy humanity so much more. And don't be surprised if other people then are much more accepting and loving towards you. Win-win situation. Thanks.